everybody, and we are here today with a new book, The Skeleton Crew by Andrew Swales, which is available from Monday the 21st of October. But if you go to our website, you can pre-order that and it will ship on Monday. So we are reading the first chapter today. But again, before we start, remember, if you want to support us, there is our shop where this and all our other books are. There is our Redbubble shop, and we also have writing services on our shop. If you don't want to spend any money, that's absolutely cool. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share these videos. So, without further ado, The Skeleton Crew. Part 1. The Platform. October 2nd, blackout plus 12 days. She wakes in darkness. This is new. Before the comms blackout, ersatz sunlight would begin streaming in from the ceiling panels at 6 a.m. A false dawn triggered by the room, triggered by the platform, triggered by something else, somewhere else, every signal correct and proper. The light would be weak at first, easing her in, then growing in intensity, peaking around 7 a.m. She could appreciate the sense of normalcy this brought, even before reality had hung by a thread on the platform. Day following night, a still turning world. That was one such thread. Now she wakes in darkness, and day arrives only at the flick of a switch. The powder blue walls are bare, the carpet tiles worn but warm underfoot. In the cramped bathroom is a porthole. Its plastic pane is milky and opaque, scratched and scorched by decades of salt spray. In the mirror next to it, she sees a bag of bones, hard lines showing through flesh and fabric alike. Her back aches. It always does now. Everything falls apart so quickly. She mouths these words but does not give sound to them. The platform still has power, light, heat, and warm water. Small mercies. She brushes her teeth without paste and showers without soap. These are the day's first small reminders, were they needed, of the new world. She leaves her room and follows a narrow corridor to the eastern stairway, through a fire door that requires a two-handed heave. The air is cold on the other side. The wind finds gaps in the bare steel walls and whistles through and around the scaffold staircase. She hugs herself, rubs at her shoulders and quickens her step. On the next floor up, back in stuffy warmth, is the canteen. 3 rows of formica top trestles. In the serving hatch, Dawes has left a pan of porridge, a jug of iced water. Some mornings they have had coffee. Not today, though. Not for several days now. Their diet is pinched, stripped of flavour and colour. The only other person in the room is Saul. He glances up from his meal as she enters. She nods and the young man returns the gesture. For a moment he holds her eye as though he is about to speak, to motion her towards him, but instead he returns to the quiet contemplation of his gruel. She takes a plastic bowl, fills it almost halfway, up to a line scratched in the plastic. Storm and Dawes' carefully calibrated ration marker. She returns to the stairwell, ascending again and emerging onto the admin deck, the top floor. Her clinic is at the end of another featureless corridor. The porridge is lukewarm, but she scoops it down eagerly, scraping up every remnant, running a finger around the bowl. When it is done, she sits a while, rocking gently on her chair, staring into the empty container. Her stomach emits a gurgle of protest, a demand for more, but it isn't the hunger that preoccupies her. She has mostly learnt not to dwell on that. It is Saul, something in the wordless exchange, in the eyes that seem to suggest this day has laid fresh weight upon him. She flicks on her desk console. When the antiquated system has warmed up, she opens the data log, a slew of audio files. The top one is dated 4 days previous. Her finger hovers over the screen for a second before she thumbs the file. From the speakers comes a click, a muffled scratch, then a voice. Saul's. You're recording? Yes, of course. Her voice. Why? It's normal procedure. Normal? For transparency. Whatever. It's force of habit, I suppose. It's how they get you. Normalization. We used to warn each other against it, but whatever. That was a long time ago, or it feels like that way. Anyway, this is Kathleen Pardue with Robert Saul, Communications Officer, employee number, an irritable huff, then 2574629. Okay. This is stupid. I'm not here for a consultation. I just want some damn painkillers or whatever you take for migraines. Migraines? Well, you're the doctor. Headaches, blinding pain behind my eyeballs. I'm not a doctor. Huh? Medic. There's a difference, legally speaking. Never mind. Right, whatever. How often do they come on, these headaches? When I've been on comms afterwards. Okay, how is that? I don't. On comms, what's it like? What do you hear? Like static? Static? Only on the old kit, obsolete. On the proper channels, it's just silence. Silence and black screens. Just waiting. Stressful? I don't know. It's pointless. There's no connection. Hey, I'm no mental case, okay? Can you make me better? Maybe you should stop working on comms. Duh. It makes no difference whether I'm on or not, but Porter won't have it. Sol mimics the platform manager in pitch and broad country accent. We have to keep the signalling, keep listening. It's stupid, no one's there. I didn't mean we should stop altogether. Sol's voice becomes hushed, contemplating. No one's coming for us. I do have painkillers. These are quite strong. Okay. Actually, I'm not really sure. What? It's okay, I'll fetch them. There is a scraping sound, a shuffling, a thud, then her voice again, faint at first, gaining in volume. Do you have asthma or any other respiratory issues? No. Are you taking any other meds for depression or what? No. Okay, here, I've only a few left. Take one when you need. Maybe make it half even. Take it, then rest. Maybe someone could help with the comms. Porter does help, I suppose. There's another soft click as the recording ends. It is the last file in the data log. Someday, she realizes, in weeks, months, years, decades, or longer, people will surely come to this place by chance or design. They may be looking for clues, answers, and this is what they will find. Sol's headaches, abstract fears, the wrong prescription for the former, and no insight on the latter. She deletes Sol's file and thumbs a tile marked audio entry. A message appears. No connection. Record offline. She responds in the affirmative. A red dot appears. This is Kathleen Pardue, medic, employer number 2467218. The dateline on this recording is correct. I will try to explain what has happened out here as I recall it. Her mouth hangs open, ready to deliver, but nothing comes. She closes the data log, rises from her desk chair and crosses to the leatherette treatment bench. She lies there a while, wide awake, staring at the ceiling. A knock at the door. She checks her watch, rolls her eyes. It's dead, disconnected, as it has been for a fortnight. The analog wall clock, one of the platform's oldest components, shows 9:30 a.m. She rubs at her eyes, runs fingers through close-cropped greying hair. When she opens the door, Porter is looking away, down the corridor. He raises a hand to whoever is holding his attention, smiles weakly, then faces her. He seems almost surprised to see her there, as though he has forgotten knocking. Oh, hey, Pardue, can I come in? She gestures him to enter. Porter reels Pardue's seat back from the desk and plants himself on it, leaving her to perch on the edge of the bench opposite. He eyes her empty bowl, grimaces. I hate porridge. It fills a hole. Well, almost. The meals were stingy enough here before all this. He frowns, then stands. Hey, I'm in your seat. That doesn't matter. No, come on. I'm sorry. She is about to protest further, but he is already halfway towards her. She shrugs and swaps places with him. Sitting on the bench, Porter's feet dangle well short of the floor. He stares into the corner of the room, for a moment, removes his heavy-rimmed glasses and begins cleaning them with the hem of his sweater. I've lost the knack, I think. The social rules. Well, not rules, but just, I don't know, not stealing someone's chair. It's really not important. No, well, How are you feeling, Porter? Ah, tired, you know. Porter replaces his glasses, meets her eye. But that's not why I came. No? I wanted to know, have you seen Bros? Not today. Yesterday, maybe, or was it the day before? I think perhaps I saw him in the canteen yesterday. No visits then? He hasn't said anything? No, what's wrong? Oh. Porter's eyes fall to the floor again. He gnaws at the nail on his right index finger. Finally, he straightens and said, well, he's gone. Gone? Gone where? Oh, over the side, I'm thinking. He was out on deck yesterday afternoon, I know that. I sent him to check the desal unit. No reason, really, just trying to keep him busy. After that, well, now we can't find him. I've looked everywhere. Another one? Yeah. So, I'm really... Oh, Lord. I'm scared we've hit a tipping point here. I don't want to go on like this, you know. The longer we're stuck here, the harder it's going to be, she says. I suppose each person handles things differently. I know. Is it despair? Have we reached that stage? Everyone has their limit. It's not right, though, is it? I mean, it's not right. What we can do, we have to hang on, don't we? For what? Porter smiles ruefully. I don't know. It doesn't look so good, hey? So? She leaves the word hanging, prompting him to respond, but Porter seems not to have heard. He hops down from the bench and says, I'll take another look for him. Staff meeting will be at... He checks his watch, as dead as Pardew's. Oh, sure. Well, it's at 1 p.m. in the canteen. You'll be there? Yes. When Porter has left, she lies down again, arms folded across her chest, an impression of repose. Only the tapping of her fingers betrays her disquiet. At 11:45 a.m., the intercom beeps. She rises, flicks on the mic. Hey, Pardew, it's Porter again. Yes? Could you come up here to control? Bros has turned up. Turned up? He's been found. I mean, his body, I'm afraid. It's snagged on one of the legs. Saria saw it. She's gone down to fetch him. There is a crackle, breath rattling through the receiver. Have you got another bag or something we could use? I think so. Control has the look and feel of a ship's bridge. Its half-dozen workstations arrayed against a grimy window that looks out over the main deck. The smell of grease and detergent clings to everything. When she arrives, Porter and Gill, the hulking, shaven-headed engineer ops leader, are donning fluoro coats. Sol is there too, a slight figure tucked away in the corner, huge headphones slung across grimy brown hair. He is hunched over the deck, back to the room, narrow chin resting in cupped hands. It's not clear whether he is awake. I didn't bring a coat, Pardew says. Is it very cold? Gill grunts. Porter crosses to a row of hooks behind Sol and grabs the last of the identical coats, its company branding fading, its waxy surface stained with oil. The collar comes up over Pardew's chin, the sleeves hanging below her fingertips. Gill grumbles. Fucking come on then. He throws open the external door, allowing an icy gust to tear through the room. He has to duck beneath the frame as he exits. Pardew braces, tries not to flinch as she follows Gill and Porter onto the steel landing and downstairs to the deck. They follow a narrow path besides a block of grey pipes and blank LCDs, then a tall red silo. At the end, they turn left and follow the eastward railing, where the gale swells stronger still. They pass beneath the candy-striped arm of the crane, descending another set of steps to the cage lift, its cables whirring away. Porter peers over the edge. They come, he is shouting, but still the first word is snatched from his lips and whipped away on the wind. Saria's hooded head, a smooth black dome, heaves into view. The lift climbs level with the deck and settles with a clunk. She slides the gate aside, stoops, grabs Boz under the armpits, and drags his body onto the deck. She steps aside without acknowledging her audience and begins removing her dive gear. Broz's torso and feet are bare, clothes torn away by the sea. His jeans have clung on, though, plastered tight to thin legs, held up by girlish hips. His skin is white and puckered, his lips violet. The only colour is found in livid bruises near his neck and forehead. Bloody stupid kid. Gil wheels away, hawks and working with the wind, gobs over the railing. Porter winces, crosses himself. Pardew kneels beside Broz and smooths chin-length blonde hair back from his face. He really is a kid, 18 or so. In death he seems somehow younger. She tilts his head to one side, then the other. There are more bruises on the right cheek and behind his ear. Pretty sure dead, Gil again. He hangs behind the group, hands in pockets, kicking his heel. Wrap this. She ignores him, finishes her check, and rises creakily, pushing her right palm into the small of her back as she straightens. Porter looks concerned, opens his mouth to speak, but decides against it. Gil strides away, back towards control. Porter watches him leave, then asks Pardew, "Some help?" "Yeah, it is." Saria interrupts. "Oh, it..." She kneels beside Broz's body and rolls him roughly towards her, allowing Pardew to slide the bag underneath. "We'll put in same shed." Pardew calls to Porter as she works the bag's zippered edge around the young man's form. "Go inside, I'll see back." When the body is stored, she returns to control, but there is no sign of Porter or Gil. She calls to Saul. "How's your head?" But he is oblivious, ears sealed, eyes fastened on the deck and sea beyond. She decides against disturbing him. Back in the clinic, she again takes up her position on the bench. Not 10 minutes later, there is another knock at the door. It is Saria. "Another visitor," says Pardew. "A bad time, is it?" "No, it's fine. Are you hurt?" "No." "Okay, but you'd like to come in, would you?" "Yes, please." Saria makes it for the treatment bench. She swings her long legs up and lies flat on her back, just as Pardew had. "Did I disturb you?" she asks. "No, but you were resting here." Pardew eases into her chair, says nothing. The bench is warm. It's quite comfortable up here. Saria pats her palms against the cushion. "More comfortable than the beds." She purses her lips, whistles a few tuneless bars. "Do you sleep in here? Overnight?" "No." "I would. I think it would be better for your back, too." "What would you know about my back?" "I've noticed you struggling. I know what chronic pain looks like." If I slept here, I'd never leave the room," says Pardew. You are in here a lot." "Are you keeping a check on me?" "No, I just haven't seen you around much." "I've been maintaining the pretense of work as normal, I suppose. It wasn't much different before all this. I just wait here till somebody needs me. Still, that pretense slips a little when you're mostly bagging bodies." "Going out to get him. That was my first dive in forever," says Saria. "Honestly, I was quite excited. I suppose I really shouldn't have been, but..." "How did you come to see him?" "Oh, I was out on the helipad. I like to get outside sometimes, just to see the sky, the horizon, consider the distance, whatever. It keeps the cabin fever at bay. I'm not sure why I was looking over the edge, though. Maybe I was looking for him. I had some sense he was there. That would have been strange, but there he was." "You didn't know Bros well, did you?" "No, not well." "You're about the same age. I wondered." "Right. I didn't much like him, actually. A bit of a creep, I thought. I suppose I shouldn't say that now. What a mess. I mean, if it was his choice, well, that's something. But..." Saria clasps her hands and begins to twiddle her thumbs back and forth. "It's funny how quickly you adjust, isn't it? I mean, one of us has died. I carried him. I felt the weight at him, the dead weight. It's sad. I know it's sad. I feel it still. But all the same, I thought, this is so awful. This is so awful. I thought about food. More now for the rest of us." Saria hurries on. "What do you think was up with Gil?" "I don't know. He's squeamish, perhaps." You were annoyed with him, I could tell. Saria pulls herself upright, shuffles back on her behind and leans against the wall. He had bruises. Gil? Bros. So, he didn't drown? Oh, his skull's fractured, I think. And yes, there are bruises which might suggest injuries before death. I think. It's not really my field. So you found him right under the platform, yes? His sweater was slit, snagged on the southeast leg. So he jumps, is swept in onto the leg, cracks his skull. Maybe it kills him, maybe it knocks him out and he drowns. The fall alone could break bones. It's a hell of a drop. Okay, but that... Pardue arches an eyebrow. You're launching an investigation? Saria laughs. No, I'm interested. This keeps happening, but I'm not there yet. Checking out, not even close. I wonder how someone could do that. Who can say? Things are going to get a bit wild, don't you think? Wild? Maybe it's already started, muses Saria. What started? Oh, I don't know. How are you doing? You look quite strung out. I do? Pardue drags a hand across her hair, clutches herself, turns the stroke into it, catches herself, turns the stroke into a scratch. Well, yes, I'm sure I do. Do you smoke? No, I stopped all that some time ago, says Pardue. Porter did, vapes, I mean. He's out of juice. Yesterday, he was walking around chomping on the empty stick until it shattered in his mouth. It made me wonder about his stability. I doubt nicotine withdrawal is his greatest concern, says Pardue. But it's one more thing to contend with. He'll cope, I'm sure. You seem in rude health. What's your secret? I don't know. Maybe I'm descending from a greater height. Ah, the arrogance of youth. Saria is quiet for a moment, then she replies curtly, I didn't mean to offend, or it's just some old saying. Maybe you were built for this, cool in a crisis. Do you think? Saria slides from the bench and makes for the door. That's funny. I thought the same of you. Where are you going? I think you probably want to be alone. She heads to the staff meeting, the all-hands that has become the central to their new routine. Its format a carryover from the old one. It used to be the 2 or 3 department heads up in control. Now they each attend the canteen with reports from their old or assumed roles. Few of them have mattered beyond the words from communications, and each day the word has been nothing. Nothing coming in, nothing reaching out. Still, the practice and its nod to normality stands as a barrier to the kind of collective breakdown that seems to advance on them with every day. Today, Bros will lead, and their agenda will have additional heft. Hey guys, thanks for coming. Porter is last to arrive. He flops down at the head of the trestle where Gil, Sol, Dawes, Saria and Pardue are waiting. His round face is flushed. Sweat shines in the creases of his brow. He takes them in one by one. Dawsy, you already know about Bros? Sorry, it's, I don't... Hell of a way to go. Dawes stares impassively into the cradle created by clasped hands, liver-spotted palms. So they say. Sol rolls his eyes at Gil, but elicits no reaction. Yeah, Porter offers a watery smile, drums his fingers on the tabletop. Should we take a moment, say something? Maybe all that can wait. I guess we can hold his body outside until... Anyway, moving on. Moving on, said Saria. Is that it? Is that all there is? I don't know what else. Porter seems to chase some thought or other around in his mind, then shrugs. There's another pressing issue. The food situation is... The end is nigh, deadpans Gil. Well, yeah. What's our status? Asked Pardue. We've got about 6 days' worth, I reckon, Porter replies. We seem to be going through it a bit quicker than I expected. I don't know how. There's porridge still, crackers, odds and ends, mostly rice packs. Is that about right, Dawsy? Yeah, but now we're 6 months, 6 mouths, not 7, so we can last more than 6 days. Oh, yeah. And we'll go longer if you cut it to 1 meal a day. I've told you before. We'll be eating bros at this fucking rate, murmurs Sol. Dawes snarls at the tin. Hilarious. Sol's cheeks flash red, then he forces a smirk. I'm not joking, Peto. No, I'll fetch you a cleaver then. Hey, stutters Porter. This isn't helpful. Not at all. Anyway, I was thinking of trying some fishing. Dawes scoffs. What? Yeah, what do you reckon? We'll have to knock some wire lines together somehow. Hooks, I don't know, but these waters are dead, says Pardew. For trawlers, yeah, that doesn't mean they're barren. You'd see poachers out here now and again. That's right, concedes Dawes. They were desperate, mind, a long way from home. It sounds a bit crazy, I know, Porter continues, but it's time to act, interjects Gil. There's no question anymore. We're up to our necks in shit here. Well, yeah, says Porter quietly. We'll fish. That might work. And we'll get the lifeboat ready. Oh, I knew it. Dawes chuckles. Now that is crazy. What in hell makes you think? He meets Gil's glare, holds it a moment, and defers with a bitter smile. I think Gil's right, said Porter. With bros going like that, this is serious. It's the reality now. We have to face it, or we're sitting here waiting to die, says Gil. So we just get in the boat and float home, do we? Asks Saria. Gil's cheek twitches. He makes to respond, but Sol beats him to it. What do you mean by get the lifeboat ready? I don't know, Gil mutters. A sail, oars on it, Saria out back paddling, whatever it takes. Right, it's just we sail. Me and my father, Sol shrugs. Nothing special, just dinghies, but I know how to sail. Well, shit, really? Gil throws up his hands. Thanks for sharing. So we strip it down, put a sail on it. We can manage that. You can drive it, sail it, whatever the word is. Me and Porter and you, Gil prods a finger at Saria, can get it ready. We have materials here. We've got tools. It can be done. There's nothing to lose now. Saria offers a wry smile. Okay, then. What about the Coast Guard, offers Pardew? We'd be sailing awful close to Australian waters, or KI Defence. There'd be no difference. They'll think we're immigrants. They'll hit us. That's not real, asserts Sol, dropping the diffidence he'd shown Gil. They really don't do that. What do you think? It's real. I've seen it. Dawes raises his hands, flicks out his fingers, mimicking an explosion. They light those boats up, kid. No questions asked. KI Defence won't be there, says Gil. If there was still a KI Defence, there would still be KI Energy, shipping and comms. He shakes his wrist, his dead watch. There'd be data connections. There'd be planes in the sky, choppers and drones coming from the island to find out why one of the last manned platforms has suddenly gone silent. And hey, just possibly, they would be looking for the 8 people who came out here and were never seen again. We wouldn't be sitting here starving. For fuck's sake, he puffs out his cheeks. Something has happened, something really bad, and it's not just us here. It's everyone. It's everywhere. And do you want to sail into the middle of it? Says Dawes. Gil bites his bottom lip, shakes his head. But what else can we do, Dawsey? Pleads Porter. What else can we do? No answer. Instead, Pardew asks, will we eat again today? All eyes fall on Porter, who in turn looks at Dawes. Fine, Dawes says, rising. I'll split the kids' rations. We can move to a single meal from tomorrow. He returns soon enough with a pan and 6 bowls. More porridge, but no one is complaining. They watch as he ladles it out. When he has satisfied the servings are equal, the pan scraped clean, he meets their eyes, invites comment or protest. There is none. Pardew retreats to the clinic, sets the data log to record audio, and takes up her position on the bench. 6 of us remain. I will attach staff files. Bros is gone. I'll compile a separate report on fatalities. We have to decide our decide our rescue is now unlikely. So we will leave, take the lifeboat, take our chances. She pauses, closes her eyes, and allows the weight of that to settle. I wonder if this is the best course of action. She can, however, see a kind of cruel logic in it all. When she was a girl, she had wanted to live by the sea. More than a want, it was a dream, a fantasy, because from her inner city block she had deemed it impossible. But then, nearing middle age, with her later, loftier ambitions flattened and in search of a reset, she had reverted to that childhood wish. She had made it come true, but only for a while. Perhaps it had offended her. Perhaps after everything that had preceded it, her life there was a hollow victory and undeserving at that. So she trashed it, abandoned it, and cut herself adrift. From by the sea, then to on the sea now. What next? In the sea? Under it? Where else is there to go? In her darkened moments it seemed almost inevitable, fated even. Porter says they have no choice. That's been an old favourite of hers too, an oft-used crutch. I've no choice here. It's what she told herself when they strapped her into the chopper before her first rotation on the platform. 8 passengers across 2 rows of seats, pinned against each other from shoulder to knee. The others were young, mostly gruff types from ops and maintenance, tech and engineering contractors from Victoria or Tassie. Some nodded her a curt hello, most ignored her as they chatted and joshed and reacquainted after weeks apart. When the blades began to spin, the talk stopped, drowned out. The chopper rose slowly at first, straight up, an orderly ascent before tilting forward on into its run, a fearsome burst of acceleration that put the modular prefab city of King Island, Newport, at their backs, until all around was ocean, the vastness of the KI Energy Exploration Zone. Some of the contractors slipped into sleep then, chins lolling against chests, hungover perhaps after Sunday night farewells to friends, lovers. She couldn't comprehend how they slept. Her stomach churned with every drop and wobble along their turbulent path, and after a while she became certain she would vomit. She closed her eyes, tried to focus only on breathing. The thought of throwing up in front of everyone filled her with horror. She wanted to shout, "This isn't me! I was in a war!" She must have looked as bad as she felt. A man opposite put a hand on her knee, yelled across, "Are you okay?" She opened her eyes and he offered a sympathetic smile. He was older than the others and different in other ways, short, plumpish, with a kind face, a bald crown encircled by dark, wiry hair. He shouted again to say they were almost there and flicked his head, gesturing towards the platform. She didn't understand, but then she saw the platform, little more than a dot in the distance. She nodded her thanks, took another deep breath, and began to think she might make it. Then she fainted. When they landed, she came to with the first jolt and almost immediately felt the blood flooding back to all parts, a brief burning relief tingling with embarrassment. Then the engine was cut. She swallowed her pride and thanked the man again. "It's nothing," he told her. "The first time I got on this damn thing, I puked all over my lap and 2 people either side. Imagine that." She never knew if that tale was true, but she was grateful for it. "Are you visiting us?" he asked. "I'm the new medic here. I'm supposed to find a Mr. Porter." "I'm a Mr. Porter? Didn't anyone tell you? My God, well, just Porter will do." He thrust out a podgy hand. "You must be Parsons? No? Pardue, Kathleen. Ah, I must confess I had forgotten you were coming, Pardue." He led her to control, dropped his bags, then showed her the clinic, her dorm, next the full tour, the induction. They visited the communal area, all on the middle floor, all painted the same washed-out blue, the canteen and kitchen, a small rec room with brown couches and a pool table, 1 cue, no cue ball, the laundry, a gym of sorts. He walked her around the decks, pointing out complex machinery and equipment, the names and functions of which were immediately forgotten and remained lost to her. He tried to explain how the place worked, how oil and gas were pumped, stored, transported, how the facility generated its own power, how seawater was purified for drinking and bathing, so on and so on and so on, until she slipped into a waking sleep. "We're completely self-sufficient," he had told her, unaware of how quickly he would be proven wrong. "Still, it's a clunky old thing. Brought it down from Perth way during the rush. A retrofit job. There used to be dozens, scores working here. It's a skeleton staff now. We just monitor the machines." There was no satisfaction in his voice, only sadness. After a moment he added, "They'll have this old place fitted up for full automation soon. I'm not sure we'll still be here in a year." That didn't worry her. Later, she sat in the windowless clinic and waited, and wondered again about her decision to come. No choice. At dinner time she was hungry, but she couldn't stomach sitting alone in the communal canteen, or sitting communally in a communal canteen for that matter. She went to bed hungry, and how that missed meal haunts her now. She saw little of Porter after that. He would smile as they crossed paths in the corridors or the canteen, and he would stop to ask how she was. Then, before she could really answer, he would hurry away on some apparently urgent task, and she would chide herself for feeling slightly crestfallen. He seemed as overworked as she was under. Her days were spent alone, reading or dozing in the clinic. The 2-week rotation seemed to last forever. On the final day, ascending from the helipad, she peered out of the window and watched as the platform grew smaller and smaller below. A cluster of irregular blocks painted in vibrant clashing colours, thrumming machinery, stacked and striated steel, flashing lights and bursts of flame, steam like hot breath. All this atop 4 stumpy-looking legs. In fact, go on forever. Stumpy-looking legs that in fact go on forever. She watched the replacement crew, the A shift, scurrying from the chopper that arrived as hers was departing. People in boots, jeans, jumpers, an unofficial uniform with a hint of prison issue about it. That was chapter 1 of The Skeleton Crew. If you want to see more, pop across to our website where you can get the full book. If you would like to support this channel, come across to the Black Cockie Press website, www.blackcockiepress.com.au, where you will find books and other writing services to help with your writing.